Ọmọ tó ní bàbá òun ò là, ọmọ tó ní ìyá òun ò lówó lọ́wọ́, ẹnu ẹlẹ́ kò sí yẹn. Ọmọ tó ní bàbá òun ò là, ọmọ tó ní ìyá òun ò lówó lọ́wọ́, ẹnu ẹlẹ́ kò sí yẹn. The interpretation of this saying in my language that we made it a song is that a child that said, why is my father doesn't have houses? Why is my father doesn't have cars, luxury cars? Why is my mother so poor? Why? Why are they like this? Why am I not enjoying just like the way my other mates are living a very large life of affluence? That is a saying in my language, Yoruba language. And I'm here today to tell you that for you to started having this thought, I'm sure you probably might have been having a lot of thoughts in your mind. So far, so good. But you probably might have been now in the age of the so-called government official age, 18, or probably in your 20s. Start having this thought. Yes, to you, it is a good thought. But I can tell you for free that this thought, it is an evil thought. It is an evil thought. Because whatever that could make you to be in gratitude of the life you have in your hand, of the life that have been given to you, that you did not give to yourself, it is an ingratitude, thought. It is evil. Yeah. The devil does not want you to get to your destination. It's as simple as that. The devil wants you to be cursed, and you will start misbehaving to your parents. You will start misbehaving to every adult around, knowingly or unknowingly ones that probably could take you now from the confused situation or the confused status where you are right now to the next level that will change the trajectory of your entire family, and your life will be blossom, and that of your family as well. Because for the fact that you could not, your mind, your thought could not be thinking of all the sacrifices that you have been experiencing, you have been seeing growing up throughout your years. You can't really know what probably happened below your 5 years old, except some smart child. But when you are 5 upward, especially when you are 7 upward, thereabout, you have been seeing the way and manner your father, your mother has been running helter-skelter, helter-skelter, helter-skelter. And all of a sudden, you find shoe in your leg, you find clothing in your body, you find food in your fridge, you find food in your kitchen. You lack no food. Even though you do in a little bit, it's not constant, it's not consistent. Like some of the children in some other part of continents, they will have to hawk food on the street in the traffic before his or that child, his or her, or that, or before that child can feed with their family. Their parents will have to put food on their head to go and sell at their tender age. In your own case, wake up in the morning, the only thing your parents want you to do, sleep, wake up, eat, go to school, come back, eat, study. After study, eat, watch TV, play games, do whatever you can do, and then you go back to bed again. How food creep into your house, clothes, shoe, house rent, electricity bill, water bill, hot water bills, every bills, car bills, insurance bill, tax, road tax bills, all manners of bill, council tax bill, the electricity you see in your streets. You don't know how that comes to you. Government provides all of them. The road, the smooth road on your streets, to you, government provide all of them. You do not know. Government provide all of those things through your parents. The hospitals you go to, you don't know. Government provide them through your parents. The schools you go to, you don't know. Government provide them through your parents' hard-earned money. Some country, that is the way it is. Some country, it is the parent that will have to pay all of those things cash. Transactional payment, not government paying it through them. Or some countries like America, for example, government enforce it on parents to get health insurance, everything that they needed to survive, to move on in life. They take them through insurance, social services, and all that. In the UK, government collects it straight away from parents' gross salary before it gets the remaining amount in his bank account. It's already been taken, whether he likes it or not. So the school, the hospital, the road, the electricity, the fancy road, fancy environment, the park, where you go to play, everywhere. Government actualize all of this through the hard-earned money your parent has to toil on every day of their life for you to find comfort. Now in your household, government doesn't do all of that. Your parent as well provides all of that. And you could get all this comfort. Sometimes they complain, your parents complain. Sometimes they don't complain about their circumstances because what can you do? They don't want to stress you. It's only probably when you are misbehaving sometimes that your parent has no other choice. Out of anger, out of frustration, they pour just probably 1 or 10% of what they're going through in order to make life easy for you. They made a mistake, right? For having you, right? Right? That's what you want them to feel. Did I bring myself to this world? Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not your fault. They have made a mistake. You have made them to realize that they have made a mistake to bring you onto this planet. It shouldn't have been any reason whatsoever. You should have stayed in wherever you are, clueless. You don't even know what you are, whether you exist, whether you are animals, whether you are angel, whether you are rats, whether you are mice, whatever it is. You don't even know. None of us know what we were before we came to this world through our Orisha, our shrine, our God on earth, which happens to be our parents. You don't know. So please, no worry. We are very sorry. We are very, very sorry to have bring you to this planet for you to come and become a vampire back to us. We are very sorry. We are begging you. We are very sorry. But I will tell you here that that is not the way. A child who doesn't want to grow up, become a parent, that even his own child will start coming to thinking or asking this type of question you have started thinking in your mind today, or probably you have mistakenly asked your parents. Before you mistake, or before you mistakenly ask your parents, that is the reason why people like us are here today. To tell you that thought of yours, it is an evil thought. Start switching it now by thinking about all the sacrifices, everything you have enjoyed that you did not provide. You are thinking about other children right now that they are living a very big life of affluence. But you clearly do not understand what is happening in that other people's house. You thought the land is also greener in that other side, right? But you do not know all the processes that have been put in place for the parents of that other child to be able to make his own child now to live a life of affluence. You don't know if it was like a circumstances that was beyond the parents in that other side that made them found themselves in the life of affluence they never ever in their life envisage could even happen. And your parent now never ever also envisage the type of life he's living in. And that type of life has become a thing of punishment. And is doing everything humanly possible to make sure that no matter what, I will make my children comfortable. They might not live a big life. I will make sure they live a comfortable life while I continue fighting life and see whether I can take my children on a bigger life. Do you understand? That is it. But as a child, you are having that thought. I am asking you to start switching that thought to all what you have been enjoying and you have never provided. And start seeing that there have been a lot of sacrifices gone down. If you think an adult finding it easy or life of an adult is an easy one, you have started. It's a good idea that you too have started now, since you have started having that thought. But I will be asking you here that start switching. Start having feelings. Start bothering yourself about the well-being of your parents for them to be going through this turmoil, sacrificing so much for you to even have a comfort or a comfortable, or let's even say comfort. Let's not finish it by saying comfortable, because we don't know what you meant in your own mind what comfortability is. It could be that type of life of other children in the other side that you think it is greener. They always have a saying that life is not always greener on the other side, the way you are thinking about it. Until you witness it, you cannot 100% confirm, affirm it that it's actually greener. Until you live in it, then you will be able to say, hey, really? Or really? So it's actually not greener. Or maybe it is, you don't know. So are you going to disown your parents? That's another question. To go and choose the other parent as yours, so that you'll be able to know whether you can be accepted or adopted, and then they abandon their own children and accommodate you for you to come and live that life of their children. I think you may have to find out by yourself. If better still, the royal family of England should accommodate you in their Buckingham Palace, and then they will excommunicate their children for you to take over the space. That would be a very good idea. Fantastic idea in your little mind. To you, you are an adult. But unfortunately, drainage water, dirty water is flowing through your mind, flowing through your brain. And I'm here today to let you know, if you don't start thinking about the sacrifices your parents have gone through in order to give you this little comfort according to yourself, then you are not thinking about the well-being of your parents, because your parents have started developing what we call high blood pressure. Some have even graduated to hypertension, cancers everywhere, and they are just managing them, not allowing them to be exposed to you, so that they will not have a panic attack at your tender age of life. You started carrying the burden of an adult, because when you see that, when you hear or you see that your parents are dying with this comfort that you do not value right now, I'm sure you start valuing them by then. Because if your parents have started having high blood pressure or hypertension that has started leading to some other evil sicknesses like stroke, pain, bone marrow, and so many other cancers and all that, your parent is already going. You will start providing for yourself, whether you like it or not. In fact, you will step into that shoe at a very early stage of life, at your 20s. If care is not taken, if you dare go and ask this type of evil question, you will speed up the death of your parents, and everything will be on you eventually. So, therefore, I am imploring you today, don't take an evil step by asking stupid question, dumb question, very unintelligent questions. That was not the way you were brought up. And if that is the way you were brought up, you can still listen to people like us today and start switching. The moment you start switching your ingratitude thought to gratitude thought, I'm saying it again, the moment you start thinking or switching your ingratitude thought to gratitude thought, that the little I have, I appreciate. The little I have, I am contented. The little I have, I am satisfied. What I need to do now is to start thinking, how can I podcast my parents in my 20s? When I say podcast my parents, start interviewing my parents. Very pleasant, robust questions, so that you will be able to know how you can as well start stepping in a very light mood, preparing your future on how you can make things a lot better in your own abundant contribution as time goes on, which begin with you start asking questions. Fantastic questions, I mean, not evil one. And then taking step by planning. Second, by planning on how you will also navigate the road. And eventually, it will become a blessing to yourself. And automatically, it's the blessing extended to your parents or to your entire family, because you probably might have siblings as well. You probably might have older or younger siblings as well, depending. It doesn't matter what your age is. You can be the lifesaver of your family. It does not matter what position you are. Your older ones might have failed. That does not mean you are going to fail. You're going to do exceedingly and abundantly well if you can start thinking about gratitude thoughts as I'm talking to you, that you're looking at me right now. Start thinking about so many external things that has come into your body that you have enjoyed since you were born up to the stage right now that you start having these thoughts. Have you ever, in any form of shape, toil, labor to provide them for yourself? And who provided it, you think they do not deserve? Thank you. Thank you for not have made my life be like that type of my friends that have been so envious of myself all these years. Rather than just allowing flood to pass through your brain and flush all those life away, and then start, making flood to bring dirty, dirty refuses and stock it in your brain. Because as flood, when there is rain, okay, in some other part of some countries, it takes away a lot of dirty refuses from the particular area. When there is a serious flood or a tsunami, it packs all of those dirty refuses and pack them and take them away, clean up some places, if possible even wipe out their houses and cars. And then where does he take it to? He goes and dump it somewhere else. I hope you wouldn't want your own brain, where flood will bring dirty things and dump it in your brain and wipe off all of what you have enjoyed. It is a period where you start asking critical questions from your father. Find the best time. And if you don't have one, like probably you do not live with your father, or you don't even know if your father existed, your mother is another person that can as well tell you some part of stories regarding your father. Or even our own life can as well be a beginning for you. We've seen a lot of people, a lot of young, fantastic, successful men and women today who grew up without father. But they were determined that I am going to live a better life than even those of my friends who has their parents complete in their home. It all depends on you. I know it's usually extremely difficult, but I can tell you there are some houses too who have their parents complete, but unfortunately they do not have that type of life as well. Meanwhile, some fathers who were single or some mothers who were single was able to work so hard, double, triple, quadruples their job in order to make sure they give life to their children. You want to start asking questions from those kind of parents that you were wondering why they do not have houses and luxury cars everywhere, and if possible, big businesses. You don't know. These are questions that it's already been painful to them already. You come in to ask in a very diabolical manner, you haven't helped. Instead, you have made matter worsen. Whatever your parents are going through in terms of their health, you have only do what? Escalated it. You have only punched their blood to be gushing anti-clockwise, like that. That's what you have just done. And you will pay daily for it. Yes. You will pay daily for it. God help you. You don't lose them while you still needed them most. Even though you needed them all your life. But while your life is still very fragile, it's not formed yet. You think you are an adult at your 20s and you have not been able to provide anything for yourself. You can't put everything I've mentioned earlier. I don't want to repeat them. You cannot put them on your head. And you think you're an adult. So you better don't be deceived. Yes. You better don't be deceived. You see, government, they are not stupid. They are not stupid. They want you to start coming to paying tax. They want to start coming, they want to start bombarding you about. They want you to start coming to pay tax just like the way they have been levying very huge burden on your parents regarding tax. Your parents have brought, what do we call it now, slaves to this world for them to be tapping from each and every one of you. Remember, it was only your father and your mother that was working and paying huge taxes. Now, your parents had 3 children. Government want to quickly speed those children life up so that the moment they are 18, whatever whatever they are acquiring when it has to do with terms of incomes, government start having some percentage on their incomes. You think that is favorable to your family, to your parents? No, your parents still continue paying. Remember, you are now an addition. So it's government that is benefiting more from what your parent has done. From your family. It's your family that will be losing. There's nothing wrong paying taxes. Don't get me wrong. Where government are using it for a good purpose. But mind you, that is also what they use to live a big lifestyle. The politicians. Yes. They don't know the cost of food in the market. Was their politicians. They don't know. They don't know how much petrol is cost or diesel is cost. They don't know how much their car is cost. They don't know how much their clothes, their pants, even the pants they wear inside their bum. They don't know how much it costs. Your parents' taxes take care of all of those. It's only theory that they are busy studying and they are using it to govern all your parents' assets. You will now be joining that wagon that you will start spoon feeding the politician's lifestyle. That's what it means. It's for their own good, not for yours. That's why they call you an adult, even when you are still confused. And then you allow that to grow, muco in your brain that you're supposed to be using to think of gratitude. You start becoming ingratitude. You think you're an adult? You cannot provide anything for yourself and still achieve everything you want to achieve. Be very careful. If your children will not come and ask you this also in the next so many years to come, that's why that is the meaning of that song. The way you are thinking right now, your children will probably come and ask you, because you are not thinking in the right direction and you are not asking questions in the right direction, so that you can be exposed to what your parents actually wanted to become in life. What are the big things your parents actually wanted to become in life, especially your father? That is the time you need to be more closer to your father. That is the time you need to make your father the number one friend of yours. Any other friend outside there are secondary. You'll now be using your father's thoughts, your father's answers to direct, to guide yourself. Whenever you are in the midst of your friends and they are forming foolishness, you will be helping them to remove the cloud in their brain, channeling them in the right way. And if they don't want to be channeled, you leave them alone. Channel your own self. Remove the plug in your eyes first before you can remove another. There is a plug in your eye, blocking your eyes. That's not making your eyes to be clear. It's blurry. Remove that one first before you can remove that of your friend. And how can you do that? It's by getting much more closer to your father. And ask questions politely, so that you can start discovering the reason why your parent wanted this and eventually ended up like this, which is not pleasant, but wanted this pleasantry, but ended up like this, that ended up not being pleasant, that he has to struggle so much hard in order to achieve maybe 10% of the 100% he ought to have achieved if he had stayed in that first calling of his. That will help you by podcasting them. Create a podcast privately for your father by asking questions. What are those things you actually wanted to achieve, Daddy? And can you tell me what probably might have gone wrong that made you not have achieved them, that made you end up in this particular place today, that you are now struggling, so that you can start learning all those things. Some of them are never your father's mistakes, are never your father's decisions. Life made them happen. Some of them were mistakes that he never foresee, that it could made him end up in where he is right now. Don't you think it's going to be a lot of learning for you? It's another project. Everything in life is a project. Project that you have to plan it. Anything you need to plan, organize, right? And succeed in it, or not even succeed. It is a project. You have to hold it, handle it like your university school. Your father, your mother can be a project for you, not to make the similar kind of mistakes that they made. Because, mind you, when they planned it, when they take some steps, they said a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. In my own language, Yoruba, wonderful language, it says, ìrìn ẹgbẹ̀rún ọdún ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ kan. Ìrìn ẹgbẹ̀rún ọdún ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ kan. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. The moment you take one particular step like this, possibility are there that you cannot withdraw that step back, because it works with time. Clock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The moment is gone. It is gone. Some you might be able to quickly, but I can tell you majority of them you cannot. That's why you need to plan your life. You need to turn your life to a project. And how can you turn your life to a project? Is by listening, getting closer to an adult in your 18s, 19, 20s. Start learning the reason why they miss that what they want to become, and then they find themselves in where they don't want to be. And now, before they can achieve anything, they struggled for so many years. And yet, some of them still could not achieve them. Some were able to get to it 50%, 70%. Some were able to get there eventually. After a long years. They probably might be in their 50s or in their 60s before they could get there. Majority of billionaires or billionaires, they were in their 50s before they could become that. And some were able to become it earlier, depending on the currency of the country. Because some people becomes a billionaire, but sorry, there is a very massive inflation on their currency that if they want to convert the currency to another country's currency, they are not even worth 1,000. They are not to talk of millionaire. But nevertheless, that's a story for another day. Are they a millionaire? Yes. Are they billionaires? Yes. In their country? Yes. And they are living better than any other citizen in that country. So, that is that. But I'm just telling you here, you need to study an adult. Make an adult a project so that your own project can come into limelight, and then it will be a pleasant one, because you know what? You are learning what an adult wanted to become and why they becomes it eventually, or why they did not become it. Then you can use those lifestyle to recreate your own and says, yes, I will live this. No, I will not allow this. Yes, I will live this. No, I will not allow this. Because I've seen this one as yes, yes, where what make this adult to get to where it gets to, and living a very pleasant life without complaint. Financially, remember, we're only talking about financially here. It's different from, like moral life. Okay? So, all of those things are very important. There are some steps you shouldn't take. If you take them, you're not going to get to that where you wanted to get to. You can only get all of these things from an adult who has lived this type of life. You can never get it from any of your friends. Mind you, they are as confused as yourself. Experience is always, not usually, experience is always the best teacher of life. But you can live some experience through your parents if you have not even lived it. That can help you. By the time you now get to that kind of a place, when you see that's what your parent has answered to you, you realize, this is what they talked about. Those are the kind of mistakes that probably could be erased as quickly as possible. If you have put in your leg into it like this, you will remember, when I asked these questions, or when I did not even ask this question, my father told me this. I can recognize this. Oh yeah. You just withdraw yourself immediately. But if you have not asked questions, are you hearing me? If you have not asked questions, you have been thinking so foolish. You never bother to sit to get much more closer to your father now. Doing a research of so many questions you need to ask in a polite manner, and coming with those questions, because sometimes your parents are not witch. They cannot see 100% what is in your mind. Yes, they know their children very, very well. But there are some thoughts that probably they cannot. When you are worried, we don't know why you are worried, and we ask you why. You say there's nothing, and we know that there's something. But how can we know if you are not telling? But if you tell, we probably might be able to help you. And then at the end of the day, they will disappear from your brain, and then you have a better thinking cap. in your brain that you'll be able to use. But so if you have not asked questions, you will think the step you have taken right now is a good one. Just like the way your father thought it was a good one then. Didn't ask questions from his parents. Or probably he did not even have a father in his life. Yes. Because there's little or more that your mother can talk about your father. He wasn't your father. She was your mother, not your father. But she can still help you. Don't neglect her. She can help you a lot, because especially if you happen to be a very intelligent, industrious, articulate women that I respect so much out there. She can help you a lot. It's just like my wife, for example. I am always proud of my wife any way I am. My wife is one of those intelligent, articulate, industrious women that I can tell you there are so many men out there that cannot even withstand her. And she's so kind to a fault. Kind to a fault. So that kind of a woman can still help you. It doesn't matter because you are a boy. Becoming a man now because you are a boy. I can tell you for free. You are a boy. We've lived the life you are kind like as if it's a big deal to you. You better go and calm down. Go and calm down. It leads to destruction. You will just be, what do I call it now? A material of your own destructive acts. That's where it leads to. If you don't want to make an adult your best friend, start taking an experience of 10, 20 years into your brain that you have not lived. So that when you get to that area, you can recognize it and say, yes, this is what my father said. This is what my father said. This is what my father said. No, I'm not going to allow you. I'm not going to... Just like the way you're playing it. Oh, it's coming. And then you go above and like that. That is how life is. The lives play games with you. Just like the way government want to make you an adult officially. Meanwhile, you are still a child. You are not an adult in any form or shape. They want to start consuming your resources while you are still very, very prone to fragility. You cannot think so well for yourself, what you want, how you want it. It's only your father, it's only your mother that can be able to tell you and say, no, no. They are going to swallow you in that area. They are going to swallow you in this area. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to say. And then you realize that, you say, who taught this one this? This is one of those intelligent youth. Oh my God, we thought we could catch this. Why do you think companies prefer to hire younger ones in their 20s, 26? The moment they are 30s, if you have not achieved some certain set of positions, it will be hard for you to get a job directly. They needed experiences, 5 years, 10 years. Even when you have not finished uni, they'll be asking you that, what have you had 2 years or 5 years experiences? You have not finished uni. They've started asking you. And you'll be saying, how can I have 2 years, 3, 5 years experience when I've not even finished uni? Mind you, some of your friends had it. They have at least 2 years, if not 5. Right there in the uni. Yes, they have it. It is because they were taught well, they were directed well, they allowed themselves to be taught well, they allowed themselves to be directed well. That's why they could have it. But in your own case, you're forming, I'm an adult. And you are busy losing. And you are calling yourself stupid adult. It's government that made you an adult. You are not. Unfortunately, you are not an adult when you cannot provide all of those stuff I've mentioned earlier concerning your parents' provisions. You are not an adult. Don't be deceived. Podcast your father, your mother. Ask questions. Note them down. Plug them in your brain. Use them on your daily basis, and then they will be in return a blessing to you. There you will not fall ditch into where your parent fell into, and then you will be a hero of your family that will take them out from their predicament. A lot of those who are older than yourself today have done the same thing I'm just saying. They came out from a very, very wretched home. Not even poor. Wretched home. Huh? And today, the entire family is living big. Through their talent, through their hard work. Through their talent or through their hard work. And even talent is still hard work. Everything is hard work. But following the road in the right pattern. All challenges that will be coming through your way while you are following the road in the right pattern, challenges that will be coming left and right, you have been able to get yourself engaged with your parents, and they've told you most of their mistakes that didn't make them to get to where they ought to have been to today, and they will tell you that they are still fighting, and they still have that belief and hope that they will get there. So let them teach you their mistakes. Then use their mistakes to do what? To guide yourself so that you don't fall in the same ditch. Rather than you asking ingratitude questions or thoughts. Start thinking about gratitude. It is evil, it's going to consume you, and it will destroy your future. And your child will come and ask you this same thing you're asking now. And you'll remember the day you asked your parents and you have not been able to achieve anything. God bless you. I won't say more than this. Hope we talk again. If you ask any other questions, please drop it in my DM. Hopefully, I will have the time to look into it, and I'll come here and I will relate with you. Thank you. God bless.